From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc has dismissed speculation that he'd be interested in running as Liberal leader. During a news conference in Dorchester, New Brunswick, LeBlanc says the federal cabinet fully supports Trudeau to stay on as Prime Minister.
So full points for trying with that question. If the Prime Minister has the full support of his cabinet, then why would we contemplate what happens after he decides to leave?
Trudeau has been facing a growing number of calls to resign following Chrystia Freeland's shocking resignation as Finance Minister on Monday. New Brunswick Premier Suzanne Holt has reversed a policy change concerning sexual orientation and gender identity in New Brunswick schools. The policy required transgender and non-binary students under the age of 16 to gain parental consent before teachers could use their preferred names and pronouns in informal settings at school. The Progressive Conservative government, led by former Premier Blaine Higgs, announced last year that students would be required to get parental consent, prompting Alberta and Saskatchewan to enact similar policies. Alberta's police watchdog says it found no evidence of racism during an arrest of a prominent First Nations chief. The announcement comes 2 weeks after the Assembly of First Nations issued a call for Ottawa to launch an inquiry into systemic racism in policing. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team says officers used appropriate force during Athabasca Chippewa First Nation Chief Alan Adams' arrest outside of a Fort McMurray casino in 2020. It says the RCMP was approached by Adam while he was agitated, who swore and said he was tired of being harassed by officers. Dashcam video shows the officer tackling Adam to the ground, punching him in the head, and putting him in a chokehold. Alberta is unveiling a new pay model the government says will reward family doctors for bringing on patients and providing after-hours care. The province says the model will provide incentives to doctors for maintaining a full-time practice. Premier Danielle Smith says the deal will improve the province's ability to recruit primary care physicians.
With this announcement, I think the risk of losing family physicians to more attractive jurisdiction is done. This new model will make Alberta an enticing and competitive place for doctors to come and to settle and to set up shop and to stay for good.
Dr. Shelley Duggan of the Alberta Medical Association says the new model will help stabilize and sustain family practices and clinics. TV seasons have been getting shorter. Canadian show creators and screenwriters say that decline, along with shorter run times for episodes and seemingly more frequent cancellations, has them worried about the future of their industry. Writers Guild of Canada President Bruce Smith says fewer episodes means less work for Canadian writers, actors, and crew members.
Most all the shows are only 6 or 8 episodes, maybe an occasional 10, and I think the audience is happy with that, but that's not the only option they want. They want to be able to, have a Monday night show. They want to know that there's a bunch of episodes.
A report released today by the Canadian Media Producers Association says Canadian television production fell 13% last year, while foreign-produced shows shot in Canada dropped 36%. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the surging Ottawa Senators visit the slumping Calgary Flames in an all-Canadian NHL matchup tonight. The Senators have won 4 straight and sit 1 point above Pittsburgh for the second Eastern Conference wildcard spot. Calgary occupies the same spot in the Western Conference, but has just won 3 games of its last 10. The Edmonton Oilers are hosting the Boston Bruins in 2 of the NHL's hottest teams meeting on the coldest ice. The Bruins have won 2 straight and 7 of the last 10, while the Oilers have won 8 of the past 10. Also tonight, the Vancouver Canucks visit the Vegas Golden Knights. The Ottawa Charge continue a 5-game road trip as they face defending Walter Cup champion Minnesota Frost in professional women's hockey action. Ottawa opened its road swing with a 3-2 loss to Boston on Tuesday, giving them 1 win over their first 4 games. The Toronto Raptors welcome the Brooklyn Nets to the Scotiabank Arena in NBA action tonight. Scotty Barnes is listed as questionable after missing 2 games with a sprained ankle. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.